Welcome to the new BruceLee'sNewJKDSuperhumanWorkout.com. To come to our free seminar, call 813-863-0221 and hurry, spots fill up quick. Hi, I'm DJ Sensei Blackbelt Mike Sanchez, and you're hearing Into the Mix. At the end of the mix, you're going to hear a lecture on our awesome superhuman class, why it's important to you to come. Enjoy the mix.
secret smell of summer, saving the
BruceLee'sNewJKDSuperhumanWorkout.com. Hi, I'm Sensei Blackbelt Mike Sanchez, and today's lecture will be why is rejuvenating your life and making it superhuman so important to you and your family's future success. Before I begin this lecture, I want to say is take a break out of life. Really hear this lecture. It's going to be about 20 minutes or so, but it's going to really be about how to develop the blueprint in your life to get yourself to a record achievement success. And I truly say that this is not a regular workout or gym workout. Those workouts can't really lead you to super success in life, because in life we have a mind, body, and spirit, and each need the proper training to really grow. And those gym workouts don't work the mind or the spirit, and those regular workouts, just walking, won't get you to a level of record achievement in life. But learning the arts, the martial arts, and this specific martial art Jeet Kune Do that was designed and developed by a legend, a real superhuman hero called Bruce Lee, will lead you to greatness. I want to quickly say is there's a page on my website that if you go to it, you'll learn all about Bruce Lee, his success, his fame, what he accomplished, and today his following students are great people. They have achieved greatness around the world. All that information is on that page. I'd like to invite you to see it and hear the videos. Moving on to our lecture, did you know imagination is more important than knowledge? The great Albert Einstein said that. You know, when we were children, we had hobbies and other activities that were special to us, like building models, reading, cooking, playing sports, the arts. And in wanting to grow, we often find ourselves returning to these and finding new hobbies. What this class means to you is it's a great hobby to do. It gives you relaxation, improves your life, it helps you create wonders in all things. You know, hobbies we find are important as now as they were when we were young. Maybe more important because they help us rediscover our inner children and our sense of play and fun. They can help us forget our troubles, relax, and even come up with solutions and renew ourselves. Hobbies are an unending source of imagination, pride, accomplishments. Doing hobbies in a group where we can react and see our progress is very rewarding feeling that leads us to a higher self-spiritual development with others. Hobbies in a group gives us renewed feelings of satisfaction and pride, as well as relaxation and sharing, that enjoying feeling with others. There is no really higher feeling, is there? So I invite you to come to this new Jeet Kune Do class, rediscover a new activity to enrich your lives. That is, discover your hidden powers, tap the force within, create your talents, so you can have a better life, attract fame, develop more money, find your destiny, grow your business. Next, did you know people actually have less time for self-betterment than they had 30 years ago? And why is that? Well, understandably, many view learning and personal growth as a secondary or as a luxury that has little to do with our daily struggles to make ends meet. They view it like that. No. Getting into shape and bettering your life should be first plate on the table. Moreover, if we follow the prevail culture patterns, we are more interested in acquiring stuff or in seeking entertainment than in developing ourselves towards becoming more intellectually, culturally, and spiritually. Increasingly, learning is being viewed as a kind of commodity, a second thing to be purchased in order to get ahead rather than something to be pursued for its own sake, for our own betterment, for our own self-improvement, for our own greatness. So in essence, this affects the society as it affects the individual. The range of knowledge within the culture is diminished as time goes on and again. Individuals they're learning about how to be interested in things rather than for its own sake, what it can develop and pay off in our lives. Joy is not found in things, it is found in us. As much as time management, we need time awareness to examine the ways we use our time in light of the values and priorities. When you look at what we're doing, in actuality, is it paying off in the long run? Am I going to get something out of this? Well, do you know growing numbers of people are doing precisely that? They're progressing. They're defining themselves that abundant means to them. In increasing numbers, they are coming to reject the scorecard of financial bottom line and material possession as a critical criteria for measuring abundance. Rather, they are now seeking ways to reduce the living costs and placing more time above money in leisure, relaxation, hobbies, developing their spirituality. And you should too. So I invite you to come to a free self-defense class, to one of our seminars, and see actuality how special it is. Did you know time to play is recapturing your life? Yes, abundant living includes time to play. Play reminds us that life isn't a game and keeps us from taking it and ourselves too seriously. In countless ways, our daily routines tend to deaden or dull our senses. Through play, we recapture the sense of wonder and exuberance of life that we know as children. In the spirit of wide-eyed innocence, we are able to see things in a fresh way, to make connections we might otherwise miss. To play in a childlike way is to let go of self-consciousness, to drop the armor of ego defenses, to give us our pretenses and be what we are, which is pure and simple. This is a great quote from Carl Jung. He often would say, turning over the mud, you find the things hidden beneath the surface of your own conscious mind. Besides being fun and relaxation class, play gives us insights into ourselves and even into the nature of the universe. The great psychologist Carl Jung loved to play in the mud. It was an act he did often. The story goes as one day when he was an old man, Jung stood in the shore of the riverbank, turning over the mud with a shuffle as he had many times before. Suddenly he realized this was what his whole life had been about. He had spent it turning over the mud, looking into things hidden beneath the surface of the conscious mind. And isn't this what life is really about, us in life? Don't we have to turn the mud over and see what's beneath into things? Isn't sometimes life a cloud of mud in a lake where you can't see at the bottom? Sometimes don't our problems are just like that? Well, I'd like to invite you to come out of that. Learning the Jeet Kune Do art is going to show how to clear your mind and really be pure pure and simple. The martial arts is known to be sacred because it teaches some of the highest philosophies that will develop the conscious mind. And why is this so important to do? Well, did you know we keep a tight grip on our imagination? We fear that others will think us foolish if we show too much joy, excitement, and playfulness. We keep a tight rein on our imagination lest they wander too far off the beaten path. Especially while at work, we tend to be like that grown-ups. In this act of stiffness and dignify, we fear that others will take us too seriously if we allow to keep us acting silly and in an overly playful manner. This is why you need a place to come to express yourself, to replenish, rejuvenate yourselves. And no better activity than the martial arts, and certainly with this legendary superhuman hero art, Jeet Kune Do, the legacy of Bruce Lee. You see, we have to have time to express the wonder in our lives, which is sacred. As many have said in their lives once they discover the new wonder, they say, "What a wonderful life I've had. I only wish I had realized this sooner." You know, we all have wonderful lives if we can but put it into perspective and realize it. Seek it. We have wonderful lives because life itself is filled with wonder. Simply to breathe or to walk is a wondrous event. To watch a sunset or to play in the park, to experience the taste of food or movement of our bodies like the martial arts is to be precise in the mystery of life. You see, the pace of life today puts many of us in a hyperactive frenzy from which we never fully unwind. Consequently, we find so much of our life around this hyper frenzy. Taking time to experience simply means slowing down enough to pay attention to what we are doing. We hardly take the time to notice, taste, and explore life's creations. In a commercial-driven world, driving, working, and watching television, we are missing life's greatest adventures. Similarly, we are losing the art of conversations amongst each other. People today feel so pressed for time that they are often talking at rather than really listening to one another. Whether it's our interpersonal relationships or the broader public discourse, we seem to fear that if we listen to others, we won't have time to get our own points across. Taking time to dictate, to play, to do a hobby can help slow us down enough to actually experience the life in front of us. We can live our lives in the sacred, fully conscious manner. From a sacred perspective, the daily events of a life, eating, talking with friends, making love, and doing work, and are profound rituals to be celebrated and enjoyed. All it takes is what the Buddhists call mindfulness. Paying attention is each and every moment. And in coming to this new Jeet Kune Do class, you're going to get that. So I invite you to come to one of our free self-defense seminars and experience for yourself. Did you know change and growth take place when a person has risked himself and dares to become involved with experimenting with his own life? That quote came from Herbert Otto. Isn't life about eliminating your weaknesses? You know, leisure activities like martial arts allow us to access parts of ourselves we might otherwise miss altogether. Aspects long suppressed or neglected may come bolding to the surface when given the time and psychic space to emerge. We can heal the old wounds, discover new interests and abilities, and see ourselves and our situations with new clarity. This, in turn, affords the possibility of making significant changes in our attitudes or life directions if often we take it all for granted. On the other hand, we often take the already designed society path, that when we walk it we find it's not really our path. We're not fulfilled. Thinking this is the way, and it's not, because it's what everyone else is doing, and most often leads unfulfilled and nowhere but limited lives, and we never reach fulfillment. More on Jeet Kune Do's philosophy, but I'd like to invite you to study the page of Bruce Lee, but his quote was often, the meaning of Jeet Kune Do is no way as way. Not my way, but your way, as way. What works for you. Another example is when you do the martial arts, you can throw a punch and your right punch might be great, but your left might be weak, so you need to develop the weak side, the left side. Spend more time on that. And in life, it's the same exactly thing. If you have problems in your life, if you feel unfulfilled and you feel like something is missing in your life, you haven't reached a record success, or you feel like your lives are dull, you need to come to this class, because this class is going to focus on your weakness and find solutions to grow, as well as get into shape and also learn the fun art of martial arts. The fun thing about martial arts is you discover how you can move, how much power you have dormant inside. So, doing an activity that does reflection and introspection on your being will help you find a life of fulfillment. So how do you define success? Is it financial freedom and empowering your life and becoming somewhat a leader in life and solving your solutions towards success? Absolutely. Like most muscles of our bodies, our thinking muscles get sluggish without regular exercises. In order to find a life of well worth fulfillment, we must not take the command average society route. We often think that this is the path because everyone is doing it, and only find that we are not fulfilled. Often the great philosopher teachers recommend that to drop from the daily schedules and do a totally different thing, a life-building activity, and something worthwhile that focuses on teaching wisdom, better thinking, introspection, and reflection. They have always recommended something that will lead you to discover the hidden treasures of the cave of the mind. And this is what the great Joseph Campbell often say. Come with me. Come into the cave of the mind. I will show you how to clear the cobwebs and dive in and get the treasures that lie in your consciousness, deep in your mind.